You're listening to This Is My Side Hustle. The tips, tools, and advice you need to optimize your life live here. If you're looking to unlock the secrets to additional income by engineering your choices around your ideal lifestyle, you're in the right place. Stay tuned and join us as we unpack unconventional ideas and methods to give you more freedom and flexibility. Let's escape the rat race together and live with intention. Let's learn how others are making it pay with their side hustles. Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 37 of This Is My Side Hustle. So, I don't know what to tell you about what my typical dialogue would be as far as what to do in this very moment, because I know we're all experiencing nothing that we've ever experienced before. We're living through a period of history which is unprecedented, and I know a lot of you might be really strapped for cash right now, really worried about older family members, really worried about your kids or anyone in your family with special needs, special conditions, high-risk individuals, or you might just be going about your life thinking this is no big deal. So I really struggled with putting this out because, number one, I've kind of been trying to slowly sound the alarm bells for the past 4 weeks in several of my episodes. I'm sure many of you have heard those things, probably up until now have thought it's all a big joke or it's no big deal, or maybe I was overreacting. And I encourage you to go back a few weeks, actually just listen to all of my episodes for ways you can now save money or make more money and optimize your lifestyle and what you should do with your retirement funds and everything. I feel like literally every podcast up until now has been leading up to this. And many of you might have thought I have been extreme or overreacting. I'm pretty sure at this point, though, most of you are on board with realizing this is why I've been saying these things for a while. And this is why I brought up the whole coronavirus thing and you possibly being forced to work from home a while ago. I'm not here saying I told you so, but I don't bring things up lightly unless I think they're very important and something to be looked into. So at any time in any of my podcasts, if I'm bringing something up, even if it's somewhat lighthearted or whatever, I've been researching those things for a long time. I do not feel comfortable ever getting on and talking about certain things unless I'm very certain about what I've said. I don't feel comfortable promoting different things or different companies unless I'm very certain, familiar, or happy with the way those things have turned out. So, that being said, if you do have extra time while you're being either forcibly locked down or you're self-quarantining and social distancing and you have some extra time on your hands, I do encourage you to go back and listen to at least the past 2 episodes, but obviously more than that, because I've touched on a lot of these things that are going to be hitting you in the near to distant future. Whatever you think is distant is probably going to be near, immediate, distant several years from now because of this pandemic. Now, this is kind of the whole reason why I initially set up my website, makingitpaytostay.com. Making it pay to stay is extremely relevant right now. I initially set it up as a way for moms to stay at home and to teach other people how to live on one income if they could, because of things that had basically rolled out from 2008 from the financial crisis at that point. And I thought it was important for people to know that There can be catastrophes. There are lots of things that are unexpected. But if you live your life in a way that's prudent, always ready for any kind of emergencies or catastrophes, always having at least 30 days supply of food, water, medicines, anything that you would need in your household, any kind of on-hand cash is always prudent. It's why I've consistently told you to please set up a long-term emergency fund for 3 to 6 months. These things are somewhat unpredictable. But I also want to mention a few things that I thought are important. I don't usually mention these things to a lot of close family and friends, or even especially just to the general public like I'm doing now with this podcast, because people usually aren't ready for it. But I feel like it's a time where I'm able to possibly put something out there for you to look at, consider, and I'm not going to be seen as a conspiracy theorist, because we're seeing the absolutely unexpected, unprecedented things unfolding around us hour by hour, day by day. So I would encourage you all to look up on Google Event 201. This was a pandemic exercise coordinated by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation with many CDC board members on board, various leaders of different industries such as Marriott, various government officials, and Johns Hopkins University hosted it, and they host this website. Johns Hopkins University also happens to host the website now that many of us are looking at for day-to-day statistics on the spread of COVID-19. This happened in October of 2019. The first alarm bells did not ring out of China until late December from a doctor from China, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard about, who basically kind of got past China's communist regime and was able to broadcast the message that they had an unknown virus that was causing severe pneumonia and leading to death and was extremely contagious. And he ended up dying from this disease, supposedly, from what we know. And that's why I've always told you, like, don't believe numbers that are coming out of China. Don't believe this, don't believe that. If you look up Event 201, I highly suggest you at least look at their videos and watch the highlight reels. It's only about 20 minutes long. If you have longer, watch all of the videos. You will literally see what's going on now played out in front of your eyes. They even use a virus called the coronavirus, and exactly what it's doing right now. Now, they did go on to post in February, which I looked to check when they posted that on something called Wayback Machine, which is when you can check when websites have updated different areas of their websites. So in February of this year, so 2020, they posted an update saying that they weren't predicting it. It was purely fiction, and in no way are they saying that 65 million people across the world will die from this. But I do encourage you to look into this. I always usually have at least 30 days of food on hand, but once I started seeing this going bad in January, I just slowly added a little more of things that would be shelf stable. So beans, pasta, dehydrated foods, canned goods, frozen foods. We've packed both of our fridges. We've got plenty of toilet paper, hand sanitizer, alcohol, bleach, Lysol, all of the things that you would need, but I never once hoarded. I only bought what I needed, at one time. There are a few other things that we really stocked up on over the past few months, and that is vitamin C, vitamin D, with vitamin K2, because it's important that if you're taking vitamin D, that you take vitamin K2 with it to prevent calcification of bones. We've got a lot of zinc, elderberry, various things like astragalus, I think that's how you pronounce it, ashwagandha, immune-boosting herbs, glutathione, which is a very high antioxidant thing that your body produces normally, but it's usually depleted. We're all taking a few drops of potassium iodide in our water every day, which is completely tasteless. And then I've got various other things that I have for when it gets serious. Now, we also stocked up on cough drops, pain medications, flu, cold drugs, a few extra thermometers, a pulse oximeter, which is, when I bought it, it was $15 on Amazon. You can also get an app on your phone. If you look up pulse oximeter, you can test the level of oxygen in your blood. Both my kids and my husband were at 99. So anyway, getting back to what we're doing as far as prevention, I have tested it since then. It's been up to 99, but keep that in mind, because if it goes below 90, you need to seek medical attention. So this is very useful if you are working from home or sheltering in place, or you're forced to stay at home. It's good to know if someone is sick or you're quarantined, what their oxygen levels are. So I think that's very important. For $15. Why not get it? And make sure you stock up on extra batteries for it. So the one I use takes 2 AAA batteries. Make sure you have enough batteries to, keep that going for quite some time. All right, other things I've been doing on a basically weekly basis through Instacart. So if you haven't done it already, which I'm sure you probably have, but in case you haven't and you're just tuning in and you're just hearing about this, if you go to makingitpaytostay.com/Instacart, you can get $10 off your first order. But I've been ordering everything on Instacart because my daughter has had a cough and a fever. Well, she had a cough and a fever last week for 2 days. Her fever went away, but she still has a cough. So I basically forced a self-quarantine for us for 2 weeks because I just don't want to deal with that. But I also have used Instacart for a really, really long time. And I don't want to put anyone at risk and me go out, even though I have 0 symptoms, nothing. Neither does my other daughter, neither does my husband. At this point in time, I just want to be as safe can be. So I've been using Instacart for a very long time. But if you order things on Instacart, I would suggest, if you've already got stocked up like I have on most of your dry goods, most of your pasta, beans, rice, frozen goods, all of that every week you just make a little order of necessities, which is basically fresh produce, fresh vegetables, salads, things like that, fresh fruit, all of that, maybe some deli meat or cheese, eggs. That's about it. I don't even order eggs because my husband works at a dairy. He can bring home eggs. I've been making it smaller and smaller each time because I want to be aware of the fact that other people are trying to buy things at the same time. So I'm literally just buying the bare basics, which is totally fine. But I do want to have fresh produce as long as possible if it's available on a reasonable basis. I also have been pulling out sprouting seeds that I bought from thesprouthouse.com that I bought in 2008 and I have been keeping in a cool, dry place for 12 years. I wasn't sure how that would turn out, but they are all sprouting very well. So Sprouts are some of the most nutrient-dense things you can do. You don't need to cook them. You just need to get a little system going with sprouts. You can even do it in mason jars. You got to rinse them every day and then wash them out, rinse them every day, wash them out. 3 days, you're going to have a ton of sprouts. I've got all kinds of varieties. They're very small. They don't take up space. It's not very expensive. And I know that even if our grocery stores run out of fruits and vegetables, we're going to be fine for a while. And I'm planning on placing another order soon, although I've still got probably 3 to 6 months worth of sprouts, and it wasn't that expensive at all. So I definitely think you should check that out. They're very healthy, so if you're used to eating tons of spinach or kale, or you're on a health kick or whatever, just get some sprouts. Because if you can't get what you need when the time comes, you're going to be SOL, if you know what I mean. So we've been doing that. Now, as far as treatment options, I also ordered a humidifier. I know it sounds horrible. We haven't had a humidifier in our house for a long time. I would just put a pan of hot water or a bowl of hot water in front of our heater in my kids' rooms if they ever had something like that. But honestly, they haven't had any kind of pneumonia or major respiratory illnesses since they were maybe a baby. So we got rid of our humidifier a long time ago, but I just bought a new one. It's an ultrasonic cool mist humidifier. So I've got that ready to go because that has been proven to be helpful for pneumonia patients. I've been forcing my kids to drink lots of water. I also have bought lots of garlic, things that are good for treating people when they are already sick that won't. And I've heard this virus makes people lose their appetite. So I've got lots of various slow cooker chicken noodle soup recipes on hand that I can throw in tons of garlic and onions and things like that. I also think that it's important to have that pulse oximeter, obviously, to measure their oxygen levels if things get real bad. We've got pain relievers. I have also stocked up on some various antivirals that have shown promising results in studies from a website, reliablerxpharmacy.com. So some anti-malaria, antiviral medicines, and a few other things that have shown to have some kind of promise, some anti-HIV drugs. I'm not going to get into that at the moment because I don't feel like most people should do this without doing their due diligence and research. I'm not planning on ever giving this to my family whatsoever, but I wanted to have it on hand as a worst case scenario if they should indeed verify that these things work. And I also wanted to have it on hand so that if we never need them, I could just pass them on to someone who might if these prove to be helpful. I do not endorse buying things like this online generally. I have bought from this pharmacy before for various stupid beauty products. I buy my Retin A from them, which is awesome, and it's the very same exact thing, and it works exactly like my Retin A. It's the same tube. It's the same thing. Same with CareProst, which is a eyelash serum, which sounds so stupid and trivial right now, but I have talked to many, many, many people and have gotten many, I sound like Donald Trump now. Many, many millions and millions, not quite millions, but people who have bigly recommended them. There, I'm trying to do my Donald Trump impression. I can't really, but there you go. You can get various things online if you can't, but I don't recommend you doing that unless you've really done your research. I feel like I have. I feel like that would literally not be anything I would ever do without basically being at a worst case scenario where I can never get my child or husband into a hospital and I have no last resort, but I still wanted to have it just in case, just seeing that they see this might be promising. I wanted to get some. No, I did not stock up like a maniac. I got like a 30-day supply. Okay. But I feel like it's important for me to have that. And if I don't need it, great. I'll donate it. I'll give it wherever it doesn't need to be. Wherever it needs to be used. I'm all about that. That's totally fine with me. But I also feel like it's important for me to be on top of these things and support my. Okay. And as far as the whole N95 masks, I bought 4, one for each of my family, N95 masks about 5 years ago. So no, I did not go hoarding masks, but I do have one for each member of my family if need be. I also have gloves, full PPE suits, and all of that I bought a long time ago because I fully expected something like this or even something worse to happen at some point in time. So I am not going to be donating those because I've only bought enough just for our family members, and I did it long before this ever happened. But if you do have access to N95 masks, just use what you need for your family, okay? Keep it in mind. Stay at home. Don't go anywhere you don't need to go. But if there's an emergency situation and you have to put it on, then use it for your family. Otherwise, if you are sitting on a big stockpile, donate it back. Give it to the people who are needing it right now. If you want to keep 2 per family or 3 per family, even that I would think is totally reasonable. I'm not here telling you what to do. I'm not some kind of government take from the rich and give to the poor person. I think everyone who has decided to buy something and earned it with their money, they should have every right to do that. But, if there's anybody listening to this and they've got a buttload of extra things, consider donating some of it, especially if you're a single person or you're just a couple and you're sitting on thousands of unneeded goods. Give it away. It'll come back to you. So I do think it's extremely important for people to take this seriously. I do not like I said, the government regulations that might happen and never go away because of this. But we're at a point in time when it's kind of like, what are you going to do? But I do encourage you, if you are in some way forced by a government to take a vaccine or take some kind of a scanning mark on your body, don't do it. Take that very seriously. I'm not anti-vaccine. My kids have been vaccinated for most of the things that I think are important. We do not get the flu shot every year. We do not get HPV, and we do not get several other things that I think are more behavioral type avoidances, and I try to educate my kids on those things, if you know what I mean. So specific STD type of things, I basically tell them, if you're going to go do this, this is your risk. If you contract it, that's your consequence. I do not want my kids taking anything or getting anything injected in them that has not been proven to be safe for long periods of time or that aren't spread out over a various long period of time. So I'm not anti-vaccine, but if they're rushing a vaccine to people and forcing them to get it with very little testing and a very short period of time, you need to realize that there's probably going to be massive side effects and it might not be safe. And you might need to pull out your Bible and read Revelation and beware of what you're doing. That's all I have to say. I'm not saying this is going to necessarily turn into the mark of the beast or anything like that. I'm not making these claims. I'm not trying to scare people. I'm not trying to put anything out there that's going to, speculate. I really don't know. None of us know, do we? But I just want people to be aware of that. Don't let panic overtake your common sense or your morals or what you stand for. Think carefully about what's going on. Take this time when you're sitting at home to think, to maybe reevaluate. What do I need to do differently with my money? What do I need to do differently with my lifestyle? What do I need to do differently with prioritizing my family? What do I need to do differently with how I view government decisions across the globe? How is this not only going to affect me, but how is this going to affect all people? And how can I be a catalyst to make a difference, be kind, somehow help other people out? This is what I've been thinking about. I really haven't been putting a lot of posts or notices on most of my business accounts because I just feel like it's redundant at this point. Nobody wants to hear about marketing right now. People are scared. People are nervous. People are wondering what to do next. I mean, yeah, you can go take my course if you want to learn how to work from home. MakingItPayToStay.com's, and then at the top header, it'll say Making It Pay Lifestyle Course. If you want to do that, that's fine. That would be a good use of your time to find something else to do and to upskill yourself and find something else to make money. But I really feel like it's just not cool right now to be pushing any of that on anybody because everyone's scared. Everyone knows what's going on. I don't even really want to put out a blog post for my virtual assistant business this week because I'm not even sure what to say. What do you say? It's so, nobody cares right now if you're talking about what services you have to sell. I mean, some people might. I've been toying with the idea of just offering free website updates to companies to small businesses who might not know how to update their websites with a COVID-19 response or whatnot. But I'm not even sure how to put that out there. And even if I feel like I put that out there, that I'm going to do it for free, that there's something expected in return. So I've just kind of been silent. I'm not sure what to tell you, to be honest. This is probably the first time when I've been business at this point right now is just stupid. Don't do it. Just be there for your fellow human beings. Get your family through, hang out with your family. I did do one thing. I really encourage people to do this. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. I'm a big introvert. I don't really like getting together with groups of people and feeling crowded and whatnot. So you'd think I'd be doing good during this quarantine. But when I see everything that's going out, I am feeling like I need to talk to my family. So I set up a Zoom meeting. So if you go to zoom.us, and this is not an affiliate link or anything. This is just me telling you a resource that might be helpful for you. If you go to zoom.us and you sign up, you can have up to 100 participants for less than 40 minutes at a time, get together on a video chat and just talk. So I set this up for both sides of my family. I think this is important since none of us can get together and just talk about how everyone's feeling, see what everyone's doing, crack some jokes, hopefully check in, make sure everyone's doing okay. I think it's good to even see other people's faces. If you don't have a pet, consider getting one in this time. I recently read that looking into an animal's eyes and them looking into yours releases dopamine for both of you. So if you don't have a dog and you're feeling lonely, go adopt a dog. I know that I know for a fact that anytime I sit down with my dog Tucker and we just hang out and look into each other's eyes, it sounds so cheesy, but it's true. It makes me feel better, and he calms down and he seems to be happy. That matters. And pets cannot transmit COVID-19 to humans. So that's been verified by the World Health Organization, WHO. So who let the dogs out? It's true. They did. They're good. So get a dog or something like that if you're feeling lonely, or call somebody, talk to them. FaceTime them is even better. When you look into somebody's eyes, even if you're not in close proximity to them and you're seeing it virtually, that literally changes the chemistry of what's going on in your body. So if you're feeling lonely, or you're feeling like you don't have anybody to talk to, FaceTime somebody. If you want to FaceTime me, email me. If you don't have any family or friends, I'm totally open to that. I would love to maybe do a live show. If anyone wants to do that, just message me, Sherry@makingitpaylifestyle.com. I would love to set something like that up. If you don't have anyone to talk to, or you feel like you maybe don't have family you can open up to or whatnot, email me at that address, at that email address, or go to makingitpaylifestyle or makingitpaytostay.com/voicemail. Leave me a voicemail. Tell me what you're feeling like. Give me your email address or your phone number or whatever. I'll FaceTime you. That's cool. Like, we're all sitting around. I'd love to do that. So if you want to chat, I'm all for it. But try to find different ways of communicating with people and staying in touch, reaching out to people. When you think about other people and you start, helping other people, or figuring out situations of what might be going on, or figuring out solutions to, like, how can you help other people or spread information or anything like that, it really, really helps. It's very important to stay on top of these things as you're sheltering in place or working from home or self-isolating or whatever it is. So guys, I just pray for you. I want you to know I'm thinking about you. And until next time, this is my side hustle.